His hair stay in place. Oh, well, the show must go on. Welcome, energy party people. Smudging the space, getting ready for some magic and tomfoolery, hijinks, chatting with one of my favorite rapscallions. Waiting for the crowd to gather. All right, cut the smudge. All right. All right, and cut the music. Oops, cut the music. Okay. Welcome, energy party people. Well, hello, Laura. Well, Laura is here. Where's everybody else? So, welcome to another rousing edition of Magic Mondays where a hair is sticking out because my hair's gone crazy and I'm in need of a shave. Like, in case that's not obvious. And so, Karen, since you're here, Karen, wow, Laura, since you're here, I can read. Um, I've started doing some theme songs for certain people, and Laura, now's your awesome theme song. Here we go.
Laura,
It's Laura, and Laura is here.
Hi, Laura.
Okay. Oop, 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 stop, stop. Yeah, so Laura, that's your theme song. Yeah. So- yeah, welcome to Magic Mondays. Okay, da, 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 da. Yeah, what do I want to say? I feel good today, and I felt good overall. I felt pretty darn good since my first ketamine treatment. Um, yeah, and since we chatted last week, Dave and I decided that I'm gonna do because we make all our decisions together for stuff like this. And why am I having trouble talking? Weird. Anyway, I'm gonna do. I'm scheduled for 3 more ketamine treatments. So they say the sweet spot is 4 to 6 treatments. So I will do 4 in the net. Well, let's see. I've got one Thursday and then Tuesday and then the following Tuesday. And I'm planning to up my dosage of the medicine and see what shows up. And, you know, doing the ketamine hasn't been it wasn't like, "Oh my god, my world looks completely different and I'm like everything is rosy." It's not like that, but I've just, quietly been noticing um that sorry, my neighbor just texted me. I better turn that off. Anyway, yeah, what am I trying to say? I just overall felt better in the last week or week and a half since I had my first treatment. But there's been a lot of movement on my book, and that's one of my intentions going into it was to loosen up whatever's going on in my book, or blocking me from getting to it. Um, yeah, and I printed out like the 30 plus chapters that I have written that seem like they're pretty much ready or just about ready to, go to an editor. Ooh. Um, And every so often, I'll just open it up randomly and start reading. And every time it brings me to tears. And it always feels like, yes, this is why I'm writing this book. This could definitely spark somebody's magic for sure. And I feel that way just about everything I've written in here. And it's been really magical. So Thanks ketamine treatment for the for helping me to unfold more of me. And as always, I'm open to anything dark in the background that I'm not wanting to see or not wanting to feel. Bring it. Let's bring light to all of it. Because personally, I want to get as much done as I can get done in this lifetime. I really don't want to come back if I don't have to. Yeah, um, yeah, I don't even know where I'm going with this. But but yeah, this is like I've never written this much in my life. It's very exciting and I feel movement and yeah. Like last night Dave and I were watching something and I'm like, "Oh, I'm going to go turn off my computer." But then I got sucked into an article or a chapter I was writing and started working on it. Dave's like, "Where are you?" And I'm like, "I'm writing." Like, "What?" So, I'm very excited about my next treatment. Um yeah, to see what happens there. Let's see. Da da da. One thing I've been really paying attention. Hi Yvonne. If I haven't said hi to Yvonne yet, and Yvonne, since you're here, Yvonne is in the house. Check her out. Yeah. So welcome, Yvonne. Anyway, and I have a few more for any of those people that might show up today. Yeah. So what was I going to say? Oh, so I've been um making small changes uh that are not terribly hard. um and or a little bit hard, but just making a tiny change and keeping it consistently in place. Wow, what's happening? I'm wondering if somebody's trying to get my attention. Um and one of those changes, so I've been moving my body every day, and my promise to myself is I promise to do something every day, which often leads to more movement. But even if I just do that one thing, that's okay. That's my agreement with myself. And I've been keeping up with that. And it's interesting. It's like what is this like? What would the word be? Why am I trying to think of this now? But like an inverse relationship, is that what it is? So the more I'm like open to doing my writing, the less I'm focused on the moving my body. So, and to make it harder with my beautiful stand up, sit down desk, when it's standing up, that's when I use my stepper thing. But it's kind of hard to type and concentrate when I do that. So either my desk is up and I have my stepper thing going, or I have to like drag it away because it's heavy, and put my chair here and do some writing. Anyway, good story, brah. But another change I've made recently is, and I think I've done it for 4 whole nights now, and it might not sound like a lot to you. I don't know how addicted to your phone you are. Um, but my habit, and I'm embarrassed to say as a grown ass woman, that I would play on my phone, just play this stupid game I'm addicted to on my phone. What is it called? Royal Pass? Royal something. It's like when you do good, the king's like, hmm. And when you do bad, he's like, hmm. Anyway, it's really important work I'm doing. Anyway, so I would like fuck around on my phone until I was falling asleep, sometimes to the point of where I'm holding it, my finger on the screen, and I'm asleep. Like, okay, dude, this is bullshit. So I have decided to, well, and so I go to sleep that way. I put it on airplane mode, so at least that's happening, but it's right next to my face practically all night, which is dumb. And because it's my alarm, our alarm. But get to it, Colleen. What I would also do is first thing when I'd wake up, before, yeah, it's embarrassing, but I would start playing. That's right, my fucking game. I might check Facebook. I might look at the news. What? Stop doing that. Um, but play that stupid fucking game, until Dave woke up. And sometimes that's like an hour or two. Like, because I tend to fall asleep before Dave, and then like I don't really want to step away from bed when his naked body is right there, and I love being with Dave, so I'll just play on my game for sometimes a couple hours. It's ridiculous. So I've started not playing on my game. I got me some So boring. I'm so sorry, but I have to finish now. A crossword puzzle book, and I'm a fan of the New York Times Will Shortz edited your crossword puzzles. And I got a book of cryptograms, so a little mind workout and not dumbing myself down. Um, yeah, so if I want to look at anything before I go to sleep or when I wake up, I do that. And it's been like 4 whole days, and I swear I'm sleeping better. So, yay me. Wow, where is everybody today? Is it because I've moved to YouTube? Whatever. It is what it is. Um, yeah. So, let's see. Oh, and then a show I watched recently, that's if any Kids in the Hall fans from way back in the day, comedy troupe, uh, starring Dave Foley, cute little Dave Foley. Well, I guess like 30 years later now, they have oh, back to that, back to cute little Dave Foley in a second. It's 11:11. So, if you want to, make a wish. And here's a picture I doctored of a hummingbird I took recently. So, if you're playing, you might want to close your eyes or sit quietly and make a wish. 11:11. Yay, magic time. Okay. And I'm not going to lie. Seeing that there are only 2 people watching right now, and I know people watch later or some do or whatever. It's always different, but I can't help being a human and say it bugs me and it makes me wonder, should I keep doing this? Anyway, but I get to catch up with Coop and make some goofy theme songs, and yeah. Anyway, I'm just being a big baby, but welcome to my world. Um yeah. So what was I talking about? Oh yeah, Dave Foley. So if you're a fan of the show Kids in the Hall, they have like a new season this year of Kids in the Hall. And in the very first episode, let's just call it Full Frontal Foley. Um, oh my God. So, spoiler alert, and I can't unsee this. And it's wonderful that full frontal male nudity is coming more into style on TV. But yeah, I didn't expect to in this skit, there were 2 criminals that just robbed a bank, and then like they know that the cops are after them and they're like, "Oh no, what should we do? Oh, I know. Let's get naked." So because they're not going to be looking for 2 guys who are naked. They're going to be looking for 2 guys. I just spit. Yeah. Hi, Roy. Oh, and real quick for Roy, since he's here. He's a CPA and he's here to stay. It's Roy. Hi, Roy. Yeah, welcome, Roy. Glad you're here. Yeah. So anyway, so these 2 criminals take off all their clothes, and then the cops pull them over, and they, are told to get, hands up, get out of the car. And these 2 grown ass men whose bodies are not what they once were, join the club 30 years later. Can you imagine that? And they are buck naked, hands above their heads. They have to turn around at one point. I think they had to jump around, and they're little ding dongs. They're just ding, 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 ding. And I don't know, I can't unsee it. So if you wanna check it out for yourself, Full Frontal Foley on the new revamped, Kids in the Hall, yeah, check it out on, Amazon, whatever the streaming is. I can't think of what it's called. Anywho, oh, Prime, Amazon Prime. Yeah, Full Frontal Foley. Yeah. Anywho, good stuff. I know. Glad you tuned in. I bet. Um, I'm loving my face yoga. Faceyoga.com, even though, as my friend Pam said, like, oh, I just go on YouTube and look for videos. That's cool. But this is something I know what to come back to. I paid a whole, I think, 60 bucks or so for the year, and it's just lovely. And the fact that I paid for it makes me do it. Yeah, unlike a gym membership, that was never a guarantee that I would go to the gym. Yeah. Oh, and this is important too. Um, the other day, Dave and I were hanging out, and I suddenly, I don't know what happened. We were listening to some podcast, who cares? But suddenly I just had this deep hankering to look up the K-Tel album that had a robot on it from when I was, turns out, like, fifth grade. And me and my friend Cindy, she had it. So she had it and a turntable. And I remember sitting in her room on the floor playing Monopoly. We got a bunch of craptastic snacks and we played this album over and over, and this is what the album cover looks like, in case you recognize it. Yeah, Music Machine, and apparently that's Robbie the Robot from some science fiction whatever that I don't know about. But Dave's like, "That's Robbie the Robot." Dork. Dork alert. Oh, and Dave says to say hi. So, hi. Yeah. So, what he did was he through however he's Dave is always in charge of our music. So if we're putting a new album on our phones, not on the iPod anymore, but because we're, well, whatever, who cares? Yeah, so he created the entire album and put it in the right sequence. With one exception, I he asked me if I needed the theme for rock from the movie Rocky, and I said no thanks. Gonna fly now. Yeah, but it's awesome, and it has awesome songs like "You Don't Have to Be a Star, Baby, to Be in My Show," Marilyn McCoo and Billy, is it Billy Davis Jr. And Beth by Kiss. That was the one I really wanted. Um, I like Dreamin', that cheesy little song from the '70s. Anyway, it's awesome and yay me. And thank you, Dave. Speaking of some good music, let's all have a reminder of what the new emergency services number is in case you're wondering. Uh, Sing along if you know it, or if you can, if you've trained yourself to sing it like I have. Me, 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 me. So the new emergency services number is 01189988119991197253. Anyway, and let's look at my credo, which I very much emphasize in my book. So the universe isn't a conspiracy for our happiness. The universe always has our backs. Therefore, if it's happening to us, it's happening for us. So, what is the universe bringing to our attention for our highest growth, healing, and happiness? And just a reminder, if you adopted those beliefs, it really is life changing. And then if you have ways to deal with when the shit's hitting the fan and the loving universe is really trying to get your attention on something, finding a way, having a way to clean up that energy that's bubbling up to the surface, asking for resolution. It's just pure magic. And as I always say, the emotion code by Bradley Nelson, so important, so important. It's really life changing. And I highly, highly, highly recommend it. And I mention it many times in my book because I'm not going to reinvent the wheel and try to explain his work. And I don't want to get in trouble for explaining his work. Um, yeah, I'm always afraid of getting in trouble. Um, yeah. And, well, okay, I don't need to go into what I was going to go into. And let's go ahead and spend a few moments with Rumi and the guest house and the idea of making room for all of it, even the stuff that doesn't feel good. It's all a message. So, the guest house. This being human is a guest house. Every morning, a new arrival, a joy, a depression, a meanness, some momentary awareness comes as an unexpected visitor. Welcome and entertain them all. Even if they're a crowd of sorrows who violently sweep your house empty of its furniture, still treat each guest honorably. He may be clearing you out for some new delight. The dark thought, the shame, the malice, meet them at the door laughing and invite them in. Be grateful for whoever comes because each has been sent as a guide from beyond. So, thank you, Rumi. And if you're wondering, He's not number 1 enemy. He's still handsome as hell, but anytime he comes around, like, he came onto the deck the other day, and I was sitting in the sun, and he looked at me and meowed, and I just looked at him and said, "No," and he walked away. It's so sad. I miss being able to hold him. He's a really great heft, but I can't trust him. Anyway, ooh, so Laura L, she's saying that she started reading the emotion code. It takes her forever, and she struggles to keep her attention when reading, but it's an easy read. Maybe I'll look for an Audible edition too. Yeah, it definitely is in Audible form. Um, yeah, I'm kind of a terrible reader these days. I'd prefer to listen to it. But man, when I got that book, I couldn't put it down. Like, it was so unlike me. Like, I just couldn't put it down, and I even skipped some meals. What? Not on purpose like I do now for intermittent fasting. Um, oh, and she also says that she likes the Rumi quote. It was hard for her to understand at first, but she gets it more now. Yeah, that's the thing about Rumi. His poems at first are a little mysterious until you start really getting it. Anyway, wow, well said, Colleen. Tell us more about your book. Yeah. So, but man, reading my book, it has unlocked. Like, I read a chapter out loud, or not even out loud. So I printed out all of the pages I have, which is now it's like 105 pages, and I have a lot more to say. So it'll be an okay sized book. It'll be perfect. Um, Ooh, another Laura showed up. Hi, Laura, the spicy Laura. That's right. Yeah, and Laura, I almost made your theme song also. I made the other Laura's theme song. Sorry, Laura, spicy Laura, but your theme song will be on the way. I promise, even if I have to send it to you personally. Yeah, but I'm glad you're here. Yeah, so but reading my book, just I flipped it just to wherever. Um, and it was a chapter about my deceased now friend Kufu, my shaman friend, and I've read this chapter many times, and it's like, it's cool. But when I got to the part of where Kufu, when I first met him, looked at me out of the blue and said, "You're not going to be killed. Don't worry, you're not going to be killed for what you do this time." Um, I started bawling. It's like, what? Like, I didn't expect that. Um, and as I was crying, I was just going with it, and I was crying really hard. And I was just thinking, like, I'm not feeling this in my brain. It felt like it was a huge body release, and it was just really interesting. Um, yeah, and not gonna lie, there's some really good stuff in this book, and I can't wait to put it out in the world and see what happens. Yeah, definitely a labor of love. Um, yeah. Anyway, and Spicy Laura, I know it's you. I know what your last name is, but thank you for specifying. I do have a lot of Lauras in my life. Anyway, yeah. So, what else did I want to say? Hmm, I guess that's all I have written down. But if you missed it at first, I've signed up, scheduled my next 3 ketamine treatments, and I'm super excited about it. And the first one was an introductory dose that they kind of just give people across the board as kind of a starter. Um, and I get to kick it up uh, to more medicine at my next one this Thursday. And I'm super excited. Um, yeah, because this has created a lot of motion in my life, and just feeling better. And I've written down. I'm going to write about it. I'm going to write about it probably for my book. Um, but just like Mimi, how dare you, Mimi, not be here? As Mimi said about her boyfriend Joe a few episodes ago, that Joe had tried it and he recommended that everybody try it at least once. And especially for all of my friends and clients who suffer from so much depression and anxiety, um, Yeah, if I could just wave my magic wand and make it, like, affordable for everybody, because it's really pricey. We're getting a little bit of a 25% discount, which is lovely. So my next treatment is only 750. That's yeah, 100 $750. And yeah, so blah blah blah. Um and check it out if you want. The place that we are doing this is called fieldtriphealth.com, and they have a lovely website and they can get you started. Um, yeah, if you're interested or have any questions or you are considering it. Um, you're right, Laura. It is not cheap. Um, yeah, and quite frankly, I've said this before, but I'll say it again. When we only tried it because a front desk person who worked in the office, used to work in the office that Dave works in, I used to work in. Um, she left that office to go work with this company called Field Trip. And I'm so happy for her that she did. Um, and she sent us, for referral purposes, like, hey, here's a free session. Come check it out. I'm paraphrasing, but come check it out. And either you'll love it and pursue it, or we'll recommend it to our clients and patients. Um, yeah. And I was quite resistant, if you've missed those episodes, but I had to do a ton of clearing. So I got so much healing from it before I even got my first one. And ever since that one treatment, I feel lighter. My book is there's motion. I'm more willing to move my body. And my baseline is just happier. So I can only imagine, like, what's the next one gonna entail? Um, yeah. And if I didn't look it up and see, like, oh, holy fuck, this is super expensive, I probably wouldn't have considered it. Which is funny, but whatever. And Dave was the guinea pig, and he said it smoothed out some rough edges for him, and it did the same for me. So, if anybody ever wants to talk to me about it personally, um, beyond hearing about it on my show, feel free to send me a message and we can chat. Um, yeah, but let's see how it goes this Thursday. I can't wait to report back next Monday. Yeah. So blah 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 blah. Um, yeah. So without further ado, ooh, we're catching up with Koop. We're catching up with Koop. Yeah. Okay. Sorry, Coop. I saw you scrambling to like get to the camera.
Well,
I didn't even notice that. Like, sorry.
well, Aries has been he's standing here growling at me, and he ate. So I told you earlier he's been on me all morning. He was really vocal, and so I moved the food bowl from where it usually is, and he wasn't eating it to the middle of the living room floor. And he ate some. I thought that was it, but now it's gone, and he's still on me. So like I said, if he makes a little bunch of noise during the healing or whatever, feel free to beat me. But he just walked away, so I'm clear now. I just ran really quick to get us more food. He's good.
Okay. Well, as I mentioned to you before we started the show, that I put it on a note of like maybe he wants to be checked. I don't
Yeah,
know.
sure.
But we'll see what happens. So how's your week going?
Well, we talked before. I'm grieving right now for I've
Yeah.
had to say goodbye to someone I thought I'd spend the rest of my life with. So I'm feeling pretty lonely and empty. Pretty foolish. Um,
Mm.
but I've been through this before. Actually, over this very same person 32 years ago. Um, so I know it'll pass. And I'm in a much different place than I was when I was 22. It shouldn't take the 10 years it did last time, I hope. But yeah, no, I all things considered, I really am sad about that. But it really doesn't change anything. I mean, still, like, she's still very far away from me and whatever. So my day-to-day life hasn't changed much, really. And I'm still focused on getting myself back to who I want to be. So that's really the thing. It really, she's been kind of a hindrance to that for a while, but such is life.
Yeah. And I've said this before because I just, you know, that I love you and it's none of my business, but I want the best for you.
Yeah.
And I
I thought
truly,
she was it. I thought she was the best for me, but
yeah.
things change. She has just made herself impossible to be with. She's not who she used to be for me, and
You've
yeah.
tried. No one can follow you, but in
I
my world, I just hope because you have so much to offer. I think you would be a lovely partner for somebody, especially as you heal, you know, not maybe not this moment, but you know, as you heal and get back to, you know, the real you. Um,
yeah,
I
I
just hope that you'll be open to that person that will show up inevitably. And
I'm
but
open to that, but I really doubt it.
I understand.
Yeah, she was really special.
I'll just hold it for you, whether you like it or not. Whether you like it or not.
So
Yeah, because I want everyone to know I know best for everybody. So,
yeah,
yeah,
except for yourself,
yeah,
like
yeah.
me. So, but
So,
otherwise, yeah, no, it the other really major downside of my life right now is it was 90 degrees at 10 o'clock this morning.
ooh,
It didn't get down. It was like minimum. It got down to 72 overnight. It's like, and it's never cool
72.
to really open up the house and get fresh air in, and I'm already hot. And so anyway, but I still had a nice long walk. On days like this, I take the dogs down the river, and plus these aren't known as water dogs, but the girl Allie will actually go swimming for a minute or so. She'll actually swim around. Aries won't go all the way in, but they get wet and it makes their coat, so they're wet all day. It keeps them cool. And
Oh,
then,
that's cool.
yeah, exactly. So,
Literally.
so, so they're doing okay. And yeah, not in imminent danger of any of my bills going past due or anything. So, and I have food in the fridge. And I mean, yeah, things could be so much worse. It's like, I really can't complain. So,
But the heartbreak thing, that's no joke.
yeah, it sucks.
That's a big one. But I have faith in you. You will get through it. And once again,
Yeah.
in my mind, I'm thinking, oh, Muffin, you know, one day you're gonna meet somebody else who
But yeah,
desperately
this is,
wants to be with you, sees you for who you are, you see her or him if you decide, you know, to change teams. I don't really see that happening.
yeah,
Not that there's anything wrong with that.
no.
Yeah, and I don't think that's usually a choice. Like I'm just going to choose to change teams. Maybe in prison, you know, for the comfort.
I hear it does happen sometimes. Yes.
But I do hope I do. Yeah, I see love in your future, so you can take
Okay.
that. Or
Right. Well, we'll
I'm
see. My life's an
yeah.
event. I'm the star of my own movie, and I get to write it too. So
And as Marilyn McCoo said, "You don't have to be a star, baby, to be in my show." Oh, my show.
yeah, exactly. So
So,
um,
and Laura L has something to say. She said, "We're in Cancer season right now, too. So anything we are feeling is definitely stronger right now. Oof. So just be gentle and do your self care too. This shall pass." Thanks, Laura. Yeah. Oh, and I guess I could get rid of field trip, huh?
that's the ketamine place.
Yeah.
The field trip. That's kind of a cool name.
Yeah, and it is a trip. It is a trip. And it's kind of an all-day event because it's
Yeah.
about 45 minutes away. And then Dave gets to do whatever for a couple hours while I'm in there for a couple hours. Then it's an hour drive home, and then I'm just kind of
Yeah.
laying low.
Yeah. Blissed out or whatever.
Yeah.
And I'm probably not going to do ketamine, but I have been sitting on a couple tabs of acid and some mushrooms, and I've often found psychedelics to be very therapeutic, but I been holding off. I don't think I've been in the right space yet to take advantage of that. It would be too much, and I firmly believe, at least my perception of LSD is that it cleanses the doors of perception, who was it? Not Elliot. Anyway, somebody, um, yeah, and you see things for how they are, and I haven't really been in the mood to see myself for how I really am. I was afraid to do that. So, but I think if I can just get the dog hair backed up around here and give myself a better environment, yeah, I think it's time. Because
So,
I'm
do
not
you
sure.
think that's something you do by yourself, or would you have like Brian come over or Ed or
Um,
something?
I have done it myself. It would be that when I first started, it's a very powerful experience. It's not for the faint-hearted, and yeah, it's pretty disorienting at first. Like I couldn't even talk the first time I did it. I had all these thoughts that I couldn't even voice them. But as you know, I you become, I don't know, maybe I don't know how many times I've taken it, but over the years, yeah, I've actually even like driven a car and talked to police and
Oh shit!
so yeah, I've done it. I used to go up to Mount Diablo and do it alone when I lived in Walnut Creek. And it was I'd go camping by myself and drop acid. Very therapeutic, very spiritual thing. So yeah, and you were saying that how there was like I want to not call it a ketamine hangover, but after it was over, you were still kind of you weren't like out of it, but it still was. You were kind of you said there was a carryover for a while afterwards, and I find that same thing
Yeah,
sort of thing from LSD. It's like the day the trip ends, it's the day after, but you still retain some of the insights, or you're still open to seeing things. You're noticing how you just notice something. And
integration. They call it
it's that kind of
integration.
thing. It kind of lingers with you for a few days afterwards. So, yeah, I think it might be time for something like that for me. Have a little view behind the curtain. 'Cause, yeah, I
When you
do.
mentioned this is not important, um, yeah, and Laura said, well, let's just see what she said. She said, "Yes, wait till you feel ready, but I think they can help sometimes, Coop. I've had help through some difficult emotions before too with that."
Actually, there's been some VA studies treating vets with PTSD with mushrooms. It's been very successful. So, because yeah, again, it lets you see things for how they really are, without all the societal layers and paradigms and lenses that we put in front of things. There are our own personal ones too. So, yeah.
Well, cool. And I don't think you ever checked out on what is it, Signal or Telegram? It's one of those more
Oh, no, I
private.
haven't been to Telegram yet. No, I'm sorry.
Okay.
I have the app installed too. I can
I
go and
mentioned
start that.
mushrooms, if that helps you. Uh,
Okay, I'll go check it out.
yeah.
Oh,
Uh,
and so I actually finally did. Oh, there's my. So I finally did start. I've been carrying. It's been sitting right next to me for weeks and weeks and weeks. And it's like today I'm gonna. And I never did. But I finally actually opened it up. I skipped the forward by Tony Robbins. I don't know if that was part of your edition or whatever, but no, I actually started reading it, and yeah, it is an easy read. It's very clear, and
Lots of
um,
examples. I
I'm gonna
love
do
how
some.
he has lots of examples of how he's used it.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah, that does help because yeah, it goes from abstract to practical. It's really good.
yeah.
So
Anybody can do it. Like I wasn't doing this shit when I read it. Like, and that was part of my entry into doing energy work.
yeah, because I really want to get to the point where I can ask some yes or no questions of my own without having to bother you.
Well, it
my
makes me happy to see it in your hand, if nothing
my
else.
my neighbor dared walk by
She
my
said,
window.
how dare they? Fucking leaving their house again,
Yes.
people. Yeah. But back to Mount Diablo.
Yeah. Okay.
Um, yeah, I can't help but think of our
Yeah. Yeah. That's the one time I drove,
the camping trip.
and the ranger and
Oh my god. Yeah, a bunch of
um,
us went, on a camping trip or tried to on Mount Diablo, and it was
like 10 of
so
us.
windy.
Oh,
Remember
what?
Jim's my husband at the time, his tent, he wasn't with us, but his tent broke. One of the little things, like, snapped, the wind was so heavy. Um, oh my god, and yeah, didn't a bunch of you, like, take mushrooms or something? And I remember
Yeah,
I was just smoking and drinking and
me
smoking.
and Brian and Ed and maybe Jake too. I know we dropped acid, but what got us in trouble was the alcohol. I remember there's no alcohol allowed, and we had
We had
like
a
a
lot.
full bar. It was that German tourist next to us. He ratted us out to the ranger. So yeah, dealing with the ranger, Brian, that was a highlight of my life there.
And,
And
like,
then
trying like, they were like, "Okay, didn't they say, like, give us what you've got or whatever, pot-wise?"
yeah, and then Curtis's girlfriend started mouthing off. You're
Uh,
treating us like we're criminals. Remember that? So I think we agreed to pour it out, or no, we said we're going to leave or something like that. But then on his way out
I
out
think
the
we had to pour the alcohol out. I thought we did. I remember some of the girls that were there that I didn't know, like his girlfriend, they bought, like, really nice alcohol, and Sadie and I, like, bought the cheapest shit ever,
yeah,
so I was like, "Whatever,"
yeah.
pouring it out, because 'cause we're classy bitches like that.
And on the way out, so we finally got the ranger mollified, and he's leaving the campsite. He walks past my truck, and I had been in there earlier rolling a joint on a frisbee, and I left the frisbee on the seat. There was like some crumbs in there and the papers. Oh, there it is. I had to empty out my backpack. I was trying to give him my dope. I was trying to surrender it
Yep,
to him willingly. I couldn't find it.
and didn't I wanna say, I could be wrong, but didn't I find it? I feel like I found it in the glove compartment or
It
something,
was in
so
the
I
glove compartment of my
swore,
truck.
like,
Yeah.
as we were driving away.
Yes. Yes.
So,
But so I'm like,
yay.
I'm frying on acid, running around the campsite, frantically looking for my stash to give to the ranger.
Good time.
I'm sorry, sir, I can't find it. And he just looked at us and he just like shook his head and walked away.
Yeah. So we all went home. So,
We went back to my place. We drove downtown to my place.
yeah, we didn't even last until I think it
Dark?
wasn't even dark yet, or maybe
No,
yeah, it was yeah, we didn't
it was
we
still
didn't
light
last
out when
very
we
long.
drove home.
Yeah, Laura
Dang.
says, "Dang, I thought European people would be a little more chill, but I guess not."
He was an older guy with his family and stuff. So
And understandably, I mean,
yeah. We
seriously,
were
like,
being
you don't
loud.
wanna
Our
be next
music
to a
blasting. Yeah.
bunch of fucking idiots,
Nobody want to hang
like,
out next to us either.
getting wasted. Yeah, but it was fun for a second,
It was. It
for a few
was.
minutes, and until it wasn't. Yeah. Anyway, hey, how about we do some magic?
Sure.
So, let's go ahead and do a grounding. Anybody who wants to play, I'm going to start from my heart chakra. You can pick any chakra you want and make that light get bigger and bigger wherever it lives in you, sending it out to the world. And let's send some of that chakra light down into beautiful Gaia, Mother Earth, and bring up some of her beautiful energy and open up our crown chakras and allow in that beautiful cosmic energy. And ta-da! Okay, so let's see.
Here he agrees.
So my name is Colleen. Yes. Okay. It's safe and appropriate to work with the group. Yes. Okay. All right. So are we gonna ask about dead people? Nope. My name is Colleen. Nope. Okay. I'm testing as someone else. No, I'm testing as a time, a place, an emotion. Okay, I'm testing as an emotion. This is a negative emotion. No, this is a positive emotion. Okay. Well, let's see what it is and then see what we're going to do with that. All right. Okay. Let me just get this out of the way. So this positive emotion is in column A, yes. In an odd numbered row, yes. In row 1, no. 3, 5, okay. This is energy of trust. Oh, it is. Okay. Admiration, courage, delight, serenity. No. So I'm testing as energy of trust. Okay. My name is Trust. Okay. All right. So is there something is there something that this energy of trust has for the group? No. Am I testing as trust and someone or something else? Yep. Okay. So I'm testing as trust and someone else. Okay. This someone is a human on the planet? No. This someone is in non-physical? Yeah. Okay. They come from the light. They come from the light. They come from the light. Yes. They come from the dark. No. Okay. So it's one of these guys. No. It's one of these guys. Okay. For whatever reason, when I point ahead, that's my Agreement with the universe, that means ascended master. So this is a female ascended master? No, a male ascended master. Yes. Okay. Um, wow, how weird. Some names just popped into my head that I was trying to remember like 2 days ago. Weird. Micah and Minerva. That's right. Anyway, some guides that showed up a long time ago. Okay, so this is a male ascended master. Yes. Okay. Is this somebody that I'm familiar with? Yes. Okay, this is Jesus. No. Buddha. No. Lao Tzu. No. Osiris. No. Shiva. Shiva. Okay. I don't know much about Shiva. If anybody knows what the highlights about Shiva, feel free to comment. Um,
Um, Shiva the Destroyer,
that's what I was thinking too. Okay.
arms, I think. Beating a drum. That's the drum beat of time.
Okay. So Shiva, you come from the light, come from the light, come from the light. Okay. So I'm testing as trust and Shiva. Yes. Okay. Is there something now that I'm testing as these two things, people, etc.? Do we have something for the group? No. Is there something else that wants to come through first? Yes. This is somebody else? No. This is a time? No. This is a place? A place. Okay. Let's see. This is planet Earth. This is somewhere in planet Earth. No. This is Arcturus. Arcturus. Okay. Go Arcturus. Yay. Um, and just a fun fact that I throw out every so often. Back in the day, before I even knew anything about Arcturus, I had at least two people at two different times. They don't know each other. I would, because at the time I would lay a client would lay on the table and I would muscle test them to get answers. And so at this time, I had two different people at two different times look at me while I'm working at them and go, "You know, you're Arcturian, right?" I'm like, what? Anyway, and now I say, "Oh, thank you." um, Arcturians, super high vibration, tall. And what I've always heard is they have a vested interest in the well-being of us and our planet. Go Arcturus. Anywho, so in Arcturus, you come from the light. Okay, so now that I'm testing as Shiva, Arcturus, and Trust, is there something for the group today? Yes. Okay. Um, this is on my master menu. It is. Okay. So this is in column A in an odd numbered row. Yes. In row 1, 3, 5, 7, 7. Okay. Vows. So we're looking at a vow. So some old agreement, whether you made it out loud or however this works, old energy that is maybe served a purpose at one point, maybe even kept you alive, but when they show up, they have outlived their usefulness. So this vow is on page 1. No. It's on page 2. Yes, so that's taking us into hidden ancestral vow territory. Okay, this is a facilitating hidden ancestral vow. No, an awakening hidden ancestral vow. Ding, 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 ding. Okay, this is opening transformation. Ding, 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 ding. Patiently supporting replenishing. No. Okay, so it's called, this is an opening transformation, awakening hidden ancestral vow. Okay, and it's safe and appropriate to clear this for everyone watching now and in the future. Yes. Anything else we need to know about this? Nope. It's safe and appropriate from the light to go ahead and clear it now. Yep. Okay. If you're playing, there's nothing special you need to do. Just relax. Here we go. And the name of it is Opening Transformation. Yeah, and as I'm doing this, I'm realizing one of the things that I feel I'm noticing more since the ketamine treatment is, yeah, just kind of more openness, more room to breathe, kind of more space, maybe a little less clutter in my internal world. Yeah, I can hardly wait to report back next time. Um,
Yeah, that's kind of, again, that reminds me of how I feel after an acid trip. Like, I used to call it flushing the toilet, just, clearing things out, just flush. So
yeah, and what's cool about this to me is this happened a week and a half ago. So it the difference to me is that yeah, I've been to many a seminar where it's like a friend of mine once said like, "Oh yeah, you're in the pink cloud of woo happiness for a while, but then, things get back to normal." And it feels like my normal has shifted. It's
yeah,
upgraded.
that's where you
And
need
it's subtle.
a few in a row, and that becomes your new normal. That's
Yeah,
really
and
cool.
she had said something my oh, that's what I wanted to show. Um Had a few pictures here. Oh, here's the third picture I wanted to show. So I made this for the 3 women involved in my ketamine tree my team. Oh, yeah, I sent this to you.
It's funny my reaction because yeah, I
Yeah.
guess I love Charlie's Angels. I must say.
So I made this for my team, Colleen's Keta Babes, and Maria, who invited us in the first place. Simone is my therapist, I guess you would say, and Monica is, I believe, she's a nurse practitioner, making sure, keeping sure my vitals are all good. And then she reported to me afterwards, how it goes, because she said, your blood pressure will more than likely go up for a bit when it first starts, and then it levels back down. And that's of course what happened for me too. Although I never had a feeling in my body of like, ooh, uh-oh, uh-oh. No, by the time it was happening, I was very grounded into like, this is what's happening and I'm ready. Um, yeah. And when I hear about it happening, like telemedicine, um, and I know some people just can't make their way to an office because there's not that many of them yet. There will be. Like, so who's taking care of like monitoring your vitals and yeah. Anywho, um, yeah, blah 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 blah. So just like woo out of my own little world here. Okay, so which is nothing new. It just happens to be live right now in front of a few people. Okay, so have we successfully cleared this Awakening Hidden Ancestral Vow called Opening Transformation for whoever needs it today? Yes. Okay. So while I'm testing as Arcturus, Shiva, and Trust, is there something else energetic to do for the group? Yes. This is on my master menu. No. Uh-oh. It's not on my master menu. Well, it's somewhere else. Oh, seriously? What the fuck is that? So yes, on it's somewhere else. Um, okay. Can somebody, Shiva, do you want to tell me what we're gonna do? Yeah. Okay. Um, oh, let's see if it's this. What just popped into my head. So, is there something specific Shiva is going to do for us? Yes. Okay. All right. So Shiva, you're going to do some work for us. Yes. Would it be helpful to so is it anything that's specifically on my master menu? Nope. As advertised, it's not. Is there a word in my binder that would give us the feeling of what you're going to do? Yeah. Okay, this is to the left of my divider. Yes. Okay. All right. It's on one of these pages. No. It's on one of these pages. Yes. Okay. It's on the left-hand side. Yes. It's in column A. No. It's in column B. Okay. In an odd numbered row? No. In an even numbered row? Yes. Okay. This is in row 2, 4, 6, 8, 8. So resetting vulnerability and fear is what's written here. So is that what you're going to reset? No, we're just going to leave it at resetting. So we're going to do a resetting. Yeah, well, I think this is what the ketamine is all about, is a resetting. Like what I was going to say is Simone, she's a licensed clinical social worker, I think. But she talked about like an analogy that I like is when you go to, say you go skiing, And the more people that ski down the mountain, there's ruts, or it's what am I trying to say? Grooves in the snow that get pretty embedded. And then the ketamine is like, oh, like a new blanket of snow, kind of a clean slate from which to ski down again. Anyway, but without further yakking on my part, Shiva, are you ready to do some work regarding resetting for those of us watching now and in the future? Yes. Anything else we need to know about this? Nope. This is safe and appropriate and from the light for all of us? Yes. Are we ready? Would you like my assistance? We're ready, but he does not need my assistance, shockingly. So, okay, if you're playing, just relax. Here we go. Okay. Well, I feel tingly. Whew. Okay. So Shiva, did you complete that resetting work for us? Thank you. What came up for me was just the concept of like
No.
as I go about my day today, what came up
Here.
is when I think there's something I
Come
can't
here.
do, that might be something worth worth considering. Are you considering? Reese is fine. He's fine. Um, I mean, he's not causing a problem
Okay.
if you're concerned about the show.
All right.
Yeah, but it brought up for me like, okay, today when I think there's something I can't do, like to really consider that for a second and like, is that true or is that some decision I made when I was a little kid and it just those ruts, I just can't do that. I just can't do that. Well, is that true? And what it makes me think of is um, when I was in a car accident in 95, I'd been floundering like, what am I going to do? Like, job wise, I thought I was going to be a licensed clinical social worker until one day it's like, oh, fuck no. Well, maybe if I was working at some place like Field Trip, which, yeah, it sounds like a lovely place to work. Anyway, but it hit me one day like, no. And I was like, oh shit. So now I'm working for the county, determining welfare eligibility, and it was sucking my soul out, or it's killing my soul, is that was my tagline. Um, yeah. And I get in a car accident and go to a chiropractor for the first time and told him I didn't know what to do with my life. And he's like, why not be a chiropractor? Maybe you should be a chiropractor. And like without missing a beat, without any thought whatsoever, I'm like, I can't do that. And Dr. Chapin said the magic question, why? Oh. And then, well, as we all know, as I've bragged about, yeah, I did become a chiropractor. My bruise from my doctorate that I mentioned last time, probably, because it fell on my calf, my beautiful, huge frame doctorate, yeah, that I took out of hiding recently, hit me in the back of the leg and left a gnarly bruise. Anyway, but so just something to consider. If there's something a can't in your life of something that maybe you'd like to consider, well, stop. And if you catch yourself thinking, I can't do that, then ask the Dr. Chapin question. Why? Are you sure? Yeah. Anyway, because it was a reflex loop. Like, I can't be a doctor. What? No. Without any consideration. So breaking up those reflex loops, that's what I'm thinking about today. And thank you, Shiva, for that resetting. Okay, so is there anything else to do for the group today as we're verging on 11 o'clock or 12 o'clock? Nope. Okay, so are we complete with Shiva and Arcturus and Trust? Yes, my name is Colleen. Okay, so we're just going to leave it at that today. Thanks everyone for being here. I look forward to reporting about my ketamine treatment. And Koop, I hope more of your stuff is put in place so you can actually relax and do some healing. Yeah, and I'm super excited to see you in a few weeks. I hope we're still on.
I guess
Mary and Roy should be there, so that'll
I
be
guess
fun.
Lucky Day.
What's that?
Who? Who'll be there?
Mary and Roy.
Oh, cool. Okay.
Yeah,
Is
and
it
I
fun?
invited Mary to bring their dogs, but Mary said they probably wouldn't. And I'm like, "Oh yeah, your fancy highfalutin dogs. They don't want to mingle with the, the others." And she said, "No, no, it's not that. It'll just be good to get away from them for a bit."
Yeah,
Anyway, so I hope I get to see you guys. Yeah, and Yvonne, being the lovely woman she is, come on, says thank you.
thank you.
Um, did I mention that her friend James Caan died?
Oh, yeah. I didn't know she was her friend, but yeah, I did hear James Caan died. Yeah.
Yeah, and when
Jonathan
she
E.
met him, he introduced himself. He said, "I'm Jimmy. I'm Jimmy, the Jewish cowboy," because he wanted to be a cowboy. And
Wow.
she said he was absolutely lovely. And
I always loved. Yeah, he's made some great. I mean,
yeah,
Rollerball. He was the great Jonathan E. I mean, yeah, he's had some great roles. I always liked Jimmy Caan. Yeah.
yeah. So he made it to 82.
And someone else just
That's
died.
it.
Some other. There were three. I can't remember who they were now. I was pretty surprised. Anyway.
Oh, that died recently?
Yeah, there's some other celebrities, but it's okay. I can't remember who.
She said in 1970. So wow,
Wow.
you met him in 1970? And I think, when did The Godfather come out? It was like 1970 or shortly thereafter. But he wanted to be a cowboy, but became a gangster instead. Sonny. Yeah, I just remember reading the first part of The Godfather, and like it talked about. I just remember it really emphasized Sonny's dick, and I think you had to have a big dick. Not to be confused with Full Frontal Foley. So don't check
There's
that
something I
out.
feel out right now about the making of The Godfather, like the story
Oh
behind
yeah,
it. Just,
yeah. I was gonna watch that, but then I didn't. Oh, Yvonne thinks it was 1972.
Oh,
Anyway,
and, I have Amazon Prime. I have every Kids in the Hall episode on DVD. I had no idea that there were new ones. So, and I have Amazon Prime, so I'm gonna go watch that today.
oh my God, yeah. Well, first episode, Full Frontal Foley.
Yeah, they haven't aged particularly well either, so that takes a lot of guts and a lot of balls on that
Well,
part.
I'm just gonna say, like, one of the things. It's kind of a spoiler, but whatever, you'll get over it. Like, part of it is like it's like they've. Well, okay. Well, we can talk about this later,
Yeah.
Koop.
Okay.
Anyway, thank you everyone who's still here, and thank you for anybody watching in the future. I hope to see you next week on YouTube, not Facebook. Hey, I didn't say F. Kind of been spitting a lot. FU to FB today. Haven't felt the
Yeah.
need. I'm not
I'll
feeling
have a
angry
swears
today.
today. Yeah.
Anyway, I love you all. Thank you so much.
Thanks
And
for
check in
everybody.
next time. There just might be a theme song for you as
Bye.
well. Bye.